Today I'm going to be talking about my crypto exit plan for the 2025 bull run. Now, this is something that not many people talk about because everybody prefers to talk about the buy-in, the being in crypto, and taking profits can often be seen as bearish, and it's not something that people want to do. It's kind of just let's just see where we end up and we'll just take it from there. But that is the worst way that you can go about things. It is the way that you are not going to secure any profits. It is the way where things just completely go wrong, to be quite frank. So in today's video, we're going to talk about how you can prepare yourself in advance. And no, I'm not talking about taking profits today just because we've seen a red day. I don't believe this crypto bull run is over yet, but it is best to be prepared for the future. So I'm going to be talking about 3 different tips that you can put in place to basically put together the best crypto exit strategy for you. And number 1 is simply to have a plan and stick to it. And it sounds very simple, but if you talk to people who have been in crypto for a minute now, you will quickly realize how many people have got this wrong over the years because of a number of different factors which we'll get into throughout the video. But this is about not moving the goalposts. It's about having that plan and sticking to it no matter what, despite how bullish you may feel in the future when that time comes. You may not feel like the crypto bull market is over whilst everything is just going up and green candles everywhere. But if it's time to take profit, then it's time to take profit. And if you start moving them goalposts, it is where things go wrong. And that takes us into tip number 2, which is don't move them goalposts because of social media, because of influencers, because of news headlines, whatever it may be. That is the most dangerous thing that you can possibly do. And I'll explain why. So you have your own exit strategy, your own targets for your own portfolio. No two people's position is exactly the same. So let's say that you have set up an exit strategy because if your portfolio reaches certain levels, that is life-changing money for you. And that is what is most important here. If you have the life-changing or wife-changing money on the table, you have to take it. Despite the best influencer on crypto Twitter telling you that things will continue and you are going to miss out. Because you have to keep in mind that this influencer, this social media person, whoever it may be bull posting because they are emotional, they are biased, and they haven't hit their goals yet. So they are going to feel bullish until they hit their goals, and at that point they are happy taking some off the table, or whatever it may be. So you just have to basically make your own decisions, take what you see online with a pinch of salt, and not get distracted by the noise. Because if you let that life-changing money slip out of your hands because this random account was telling you we're going to go 10x higher, you can only blame yourself, not them, because you are in control of your own portfolio. Which coincidentally takes us into point number 3. It's almost like this video is scripted, but point number 3 for this video is to leave some on the table. Now this worked very well for me back in the 2021 bull cycle, and it kind of follows on about what we just talked about. So you may feel FOMO, you may think that you've missed out on gains if you take profit too early. It doesn't matter if it's life-changing or not, you are always going to have that feeling that you could have made more, right? Now this, of course, is not a great mindset to have, but one way to counteract it is by leaving some on the table. So back in 2021, I had a portfolio, it reached X amount, and I was very happy with that, life-changing money for me at that time. But what I did was I took 80% off the table and I left 20% to run in crypto. Still in altcoins, still in Bitcoin. This just basically scratched that itch that I had. So I still had exposure, I still felt the euphoria if the market was to continue going up. And in that case, it made me feel better about not missing out, not FOMOing. You kind of get into a situation where you sell your crypto, you actually get it into your bank account in your country. It's real money at this point. You've actually changed it into real money, not just stable coins. And the last thing you want to do is deposit that back into a centralized exchange and start trying to run it back up. Like, once it hits that bank, it shouldn't be going back to crypto. Like, you've realized them real gains. So to leave some in crypto, like I said, it just scratches that itch and makes sure that you don't make any silly decisions. And lastly, I'm going to give a bonus tip, because this is something that I should have done earlier this year. This was a big learning for me, and I feel like it's very valuable to share this with you guys, which is about scaling out of your portfolio. Now, one thing that I did in 2021 without really realizing it was I waited for my portfolio to hit X amount, and at that point I trigger my big kind of exit strategy, which was fine then, it worked. But what I didn't really consider back then was, what about if my portfolio fell short of my target by even $10, by $100, by $1,000, whatever that number may be? I'm going to be pretty pissed when I don't put that exit strategy into place after coming so close. And that, to a degree, is what happened to me in December of 24. Now, my portfolio was in a great place. I was feeling very positive about it, and I hadn't quite reached the target I was hoping for. But in my head, I was thinking, 4-year cycles, we've got another maybe 10, 12 months or so of this cycle. I can let it ride. Let's keep going. Next year will be bullish. Now, of course, what happened in like January, February time was a disaster for my portfolio. And in that position, my portfolio starts going down. I don't really act at that point because I'm moving further and further away from my target. And, because I don't really have a plan in place, I just kind of sit back and let it happen. And before I know it, time passes very quickly in crypto. It's a very fast-paced industry. And, my portfolio is in a much worse place than it was. So I took a lot of learning from that to actually scale out more efficiently. So if I would have said my portfolio reaches X amount and I take out 10%, and then if it gets here, I take out another 10%, and then maybe as it gets closer and closer, I get more aggressive with 20%, 30%, whatever it may be. Now, like I said at the very beginning, there is no right or wrong. It's whatever works for you. But this was just something that I have learned from, and I won't be making that same mistake again. All right, so to wrap this one up, let's just do a quick recap of the exit strategy points we've talked about in today's video. So number one is to have a plan and stick to it. Don't be moving them goalposts, and more specifically, point number two, don't be moving those goalposts because of social media influencers, news headlines, whatever it may be. The key thing here is that you know your own portfolio, you know what life-changing money is to you, nobody else does, so don't let them influence you and change your decisions. And number three, to just scratch that itch, is to leave some on the table. This helped me out a lot because I had already realized the gains that I realized, the kind of weight was lifted off my shoulders, but I still had exposure to crypto and I still got to feel the benefit of the upside as the bull market continued after I reached my goal. And then lastly, the bonus one, number four, was all about scaling out. Now, I nearly forgot that one then because I'm just looking straight at the camera, but scaling out was so important because it come back to bite me earlier this year. It was a real deal breaker with my portfolio, and it was annoying. It was just, that's the easiest way to put it. It was just truly annoying. And if I had a more proactive, well thought out exit strategy, that would have helped me out a lot. But if you did enjoy this video, I know it's a little different to the usual content that I put out, but like I said, if you did enjoy it, please do drop a like down below and subscribe to the channel. Also comment if you would like some more stuff, maybe some more detailed stuff around crypto exit strategies. I know it's not the most fancy stuff to talk about, but in my opinion, it's so important to plan ahead and make sure that you are prepared for when that day comes. Because if you don't have the plan in place, you're not going to know what to do. You're going to question yourself. You're going to wonder if you're making the right decisions. But like we said at the beginning, there's no right or wrong. It's what works for you. So yeah, if you did enjoy it, do subscribe, do like, and I'll catch you in the next one.